On this Y2 page, we're looking at ICE for the noun and ISE for the verb. So there is a spelling award card number 48, which you can refer to at any other time if you need to, and it's got some examples on the back. So we're also looking at the prefix D, which means down and away, and the prefix add, that means before. Mal won't come in till your day 3 page, so we'll just leave that one there. So if you go through each of these, you could go and highlight the differences in the word. So you've got the ICE, so you know a C followed by an E makes the C make its soft sound. So if you just highlight these, it'll make it more obvious to you. And then change colours to do the ISE. Now you actually, when you have SE on the end of a word, it not only does it change these words into verbs, but it's also changing the sounds of the S. So it's making more of a Z sound, advise, etc. So quite often you find the E after an S at the end of a word will do that. It's more common that the S says Z than actually says S, and we quite often use CE for the sound at the end of the word. Okay, so you could go through and highlight anything else that you can see in those words, especially those prefixes that we just spoke about as well. Have a look too, so in apprentice you've got the double P there, so we're giving that a short sound. We probably give it a schwat sound, but it would be a short sound if we pronounced it correctly, whereas the D here is the E is making a long sound. So anything else you can see there to help you, just highlight it. Now what do these words mean? Malice means the desire to do harm or evil. Justice is fairness, rightfulness, lawfulness. Sacrifice is to surrender something you value for the sake of another more important thing. An apprentice is someone who is learning a trade from a skilled worker. A device is, it's a noun, it's a piece of mechanical or electronic equipment made for a particular purpose. A devise is to plan or invent by careful thought. It's a verb, so you've got the noun and then the verb, so device versus devise. Advice is a noun. It means guidance or recommendations in regard to future action. Then you've got advise, which is the verb, and it's to offer suggestions about the best course of action to someone. Now practice is a noun, and it's the application or use of an idea or method. And practice is to do a skill or activity repeatedly or regularly in order to improve. In this list, we're looking at forming nouns where words end in ICE, and words that end in ISE commonly form a verb. So write the list word that means. So we went through the meanings yesterday. You just have to write those words on the line. Sort the following list words into the categories below. So we've got nouns to be written here and verbs to be written there. So the hint is, if the word has ICE, it may be a noun, and if the word has ISE, it may be a verb. So choose a correct word for the sentences below and write the word. So here you've got to decide whether you need the word to be a noun or a verb, and then just check the meaning or the structure of the word as you write it in to make sure that you've got them all correct. Read, cover, write and check the words above. Remember, the ICE words are forming nouns and the ISE words are forming verbs. Down here we've got verb families, so you're just writing the base word here. Here you're adding the S. Now this is a typo here, it's got ing, you might want to cross that out, add the ES there. So here, remember, when you're adding ing to a word that ends in E goes away when ing comes to stay. And when you're adding ed to a word that already ends in an E, you don't have to add another E there. So write the base word of these words. Fill in the gaps with the list word or list word extension. Make sure you use it in its correct form. Then down the bottom, research. Words starting with the prefix mal, meaning bad, wrong or ill. So see how many, if you can find 9 words. You could perhaps find 1 or 2 in the list words that you could add the prefix mal to. Today's Day 4 activity is about parenthetical phrases. So parenthetical phrases give greater detail but can be removed without damaging the meaning and flow of the sentence. It's just providing extra information to the sentence. So you've got to place commas before and after the parenthetical phrase. So we use them to give insight into the context surrounding the event in the sentence. So as an example, this cafe, compared to the other one, has many cosy couches. So if we took that parenthetical thought out, it would be this cafe has many cosy couches. We just added some more information there. The movie, Kathy grumbled, was very boring. So you could take out the parenthetical thought and you'd have the movie was very boring. It still makes sense. This is just giving more information. So fill in the correct parenthetical phrases between the given commas. So we've given you the sentence as it could be. The sandwiches were very tasty. We want you to choose a correct parenthetical thought that could add some extra information to that sentence. You've got 4 sentences there, 4 parenthetical phrases to fill those spaces in with. Now the other reason we can use parenthetical phrases is to give descriptive information about people, places and things. So Howard, a gentle, intelligent boy, helped his father, who was eager for dinner, fix the broken tractor. So you can, it says, notice how you can remove the parenthetical phrases and the sentence still makes sense. So let's try it. Howard helped his father fix the broken tractor. So the sentence still makes sense. We've just added extra information with the parenthetical phrases. So down here we want you to add descriptive parenthetical phrases to the underlined nouns. So for example, Sarah, a keen athlete, was the best swimmer in the school. So the dog, so you've got to, the description you're going to give here is going to be about the dog because we've underlined that. Fill in that, walk beside Ben, so then we need some description about Ben to the park. And the commas have already been put in for you either side of those parenthetical thoughts. Now, of course, the information you fill in here, the parenthetical phrases that you use here, have to make the sentence make sense. So you've got to make sure that the description about the dog and Ben are somehow linked to make that sentence work. So we've given you 4 sentences to practice on.